Okay, so our story for this week is called Mountains. If you want to turn to page 316 in your Storytime book so you can follow along with me, I think that would be wise. I'm looking for my pen. There it is. All right, page 316. So our genre, as it has been the past few weeks, is expository nonfiction. This, if you turn in your packet now, so you did that vocab page. If you turn to this page, it's page 68, and it has mountains on it, or it says the word mountains. It gives information about a topic. What does it also have? It has headings, photographs, and caption. So we're going to write that down. It has headings, photographs, so make sure you're taking some notes with me, and captions. Okay, so when you look, for example, this is a heading. Everything underneath it is going to talk about the height of a mountain. Or right here is a heading. Everything underneath it is going to talk about how mountains form. These obviously are photographs on the page, and this is a caption. So this caption gives more explanation about the pictures. That's what a caption is. All right, so as you read, you're actually going to write down some definitions on this page. You do not need to write in complete sentences, but you just need to give yourself kind of an idea of what each of those things are. So I'm going to start out the first bit with you, so you can follow along as I read. Mountains are a dramatic reminder of ages past and ages to come. They seem to be solid and unchanging, but they are not everlasting. Mountains are born, grow tall over the years, change their shapes, and are finally worn down and disappear into the earth from which they came. The height of mountains. Mountains are tall, but just how tall does one have to be called a mountain? The Himalayan mountains in Central Asia have at least 14 peaks over 26,000 feet. Mount Everest in the Himalayas is the highest mountain above sea level in the world, 29,028 feet. That's 5.5 miles above sea level, taller than the world's 26 tallest skyscrapers stacked one atop another. So our definition for Mount Everest here is that it is the Himalayas, it's in the Himalayas, it's the highest mountain above sea level in the world. So let's write that down. Highest mountain, oops, you can't see me, sorry. Highest mountain above sea level in the world. It is 29,028 feet high. Whew. And there is a picture of Mount Everest. This is our caption that says Mount Everest. The Alps of Europe, the Andes of South America, and the Rockies of Western North America each have dozens of peaks taller than 10,000 feet. Air temperature drops about 3 degrees Fahrenheit for every 1,000 feet of altitude. So the peaks of many tall mountains, such as the Jungfrau in the Alps, are always cold and are covered by snow year-round. The Appalachians are a group of old, worn mountains 200 miles long in the eastern United States. Only a few Appalachian peaks are as high as 6,000 feet, and many are much lower. This hill in New York's Catskill Mountains is less than 3,000 feet above sea level. In the Himalayas or the Alps, mountains like this would be called foothills. Whether to call something a mountain seems to depend on who is looking at it and how high its surroundings are. So there's a Catskill Mountain, and there's the Jungfrau. How mountains form. Most mountains are not solitary peaks, but part of long chains or ranges. The Himalayas are over 1,500 miles long and link up with other mountain ranges to stretch hundreds of miles further. Mountain ranges do not arise just any place. Most are formed when plates, giant pieces of the Earth's crust, push and pull against each other. So we just got our definition of plates there. Giant pieces of the Earth's crust. The United States, Canada, Mexico, and part of the North Atlantic Ocean are on the North American plate. The Rockies and the coast ranges of the western United States and Canada were formed where the North American plate pushed against the Pacific plate. So you can see right here, we have the North American plate and we have the Pacific plate. And where those two push against each other is where mountains form. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a 12,000-mile long underwater mountain chain that stretches the length of the Atlantic Ocean, was formed where the North Atlantic plate pulled away from the Eurasian plate and the African plate. The island of Iceland and Surtsey are actually the tops of volcanic mountain peaks, reaching above the surface of the ocean, which covers most of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. All right, so there is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. It runs through the center of Iceland, which is made up entirely of lava, is what this tells us. So the Mid-Atlantic Ridge is a 12,000-mile-long underwater mountain chain. So we'll write that down. A 12,000, that means it's 12,000 miles long. Whoa, mile-long underwater mountain range. All right, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to ask that you finish out the reading on your own and finish filling this in. Please just do your best. This is kind of a challenging reading, but just do your best to read and just write down what you learn. This will probably be the most challenging part, is describing how these three types of mountains form. Just do your best on it. I know you can do it. All right, and then in this video, I also have to show you your grammar. So yesterday, I taught you, let's see what we filled out. Oh yeah, we learned how to do the typical S, the ES, the Y changes to an I and add ES, and if the vowel already ends in a Y, then you just add on S. So today we're going to learn these last ones. If the noun ends in F or FE, remove the F or FE and add VES. So an example would be wolf. Wolf ends in an F, so you take off the F and add VES. Knife ends in FE, so you take off the FE and add VES. For nouns that end with a consonant before an O, add ES. So, for example, the word mosquito has a consonant before that O, the consonant T. And so you can add an ES on the end of mosquito. And same with mango, you add on that ES. All right, and then some nouns change spelling. So, for example, foot might change to feet, because we don't just say, we say we have 1 foot, we don't say we have 2 foots, we say we have 2 feet. 1 tooth, 2 teeth. 1 child, 3 children. 1 man, multiple men. 1 woman, multiple women. 1 person, multiple people. 1 goose, multiple geese. 1 mouse, multiple mice. See how those words all just totally change? And then there's some nouns that actually just don't change literally at all. So moose just stays moose. You could have 1 moose, you could have 1,000,000 moose. It stays the same. Same with sheep, fish, and deer. I could have 1 deer, I could have 50 deer. It doesn't change. So I would recommend ripping this page off, actually, because I'm going to ask that you complete page 40 on your own. So ask you to write the plural form of each word. So you really only have a few that you need to fill in. I did that on purpose because your reading assignment that you're going to have to do, this one is going to take you a while. So this one should not take you too long. You're just finishing page 40 based on what you learned from this chart. So for example, shelf ends with an F. So what do you do if it ends in an F? Well, look here. Remove the F and then add a VES. Or woman. You don't say womans. There are multiple womans over there. You're going to want to look, and that's one of the ones that changes spelling. Okay, so I'm not going to do that one for you. I'm going to leave it for you to try on your own. Just try. Do your best. You've got this.